My name is Shane Keegan and I'm Wexford Youths manager in the League of Ireland First Division. We're getting ready for another good season. We've had two really good seasons, and as you can see, the lads are working very hard and hopefully going to have another good season this year. We started using Performa Sports itself around about the middle of last season. Initially on the kind of more beginners package until we got a feel for it and how it could be used. And as the season went on, we started involving more and more. I mean, this year now we've kind of upgraded and we're gone with the whole package. We look at very much in relation to individuals. Firstly and foremost, each of the guys have got access to it. They can go and see what they've done well, as we always try and encourage more importantly, go and see what they haven't done well. And it allows them to give themselves some real barometers for the course of the upcoming training session, the upcoming week. I mean, for example, in there we were able to show clips of guys, you know, the back four not being in the kind of shape that we'd worked on the back four being in all week. So that tells me and tells the lads that we need to look at that again. We were able to show clips of guys kind of being a bit sloppy in possession, so I want a big focus on them in relation to their possession this week. So it's definitely, we use it very much as a player improvement tool first and foremost. We're young, and I think young guys they're not alone more prepared to take it on board, but they actually want it, they need it, they go looking for it now. They expect that kind of professionalism, and it lends to the whole atmosphere when you're doing things in such a professional manner. And they're hungry, they're so hungry for it. We found last season that if we hadn't got the highlights and we hadn't got the individual clips and that up by Saturday evening, you were getting phone calls from guys wanting to know had they been missed off the email list, or had they been missed here or missed there. So they're eating it up. We're very lucky from that side of things. What we try and do is use the stats to find a pattern, and then within that pattern find a clip that shows example of the pattern that you're talking about. So if Jimmy Darmody has been playing left full and we think that the right winger has got in too many crosses, the stats will tell Jimmy that the right winger has got in 5 crosses, and then we'll try and point him towards 1 or 2 clips that show examples of that right winger getting in those crosses. So as I say, one without the other. If we just showed him a video, Jimmy could just say, geez, you've just pulled out the one bad thing. Or if we just showed him the stats, he might go, right, I see what the stats are telling me, but I have no visual onto how I can have done that better. So by combining the two, now we can say, right, Jimmy, you've allowed in too many crosses. Here's an example or two of why you allowed them in. You weren't tight enough here, or you sold yourself, or you were too far into the right and allowed them on the outside. So that's how we try and work the combination of the two. We had access to everything. Well, I had access to everything, I suppose, which was brilliant, and it painted a picture for me. But I just thought that the lads, initially we didn't jump in at the deep end because we didn't know how much the lads had taken on board. But what was actually happening was the lads they really liked it, and they were saying it's a pity it can't do this, and it's a pity that it can't do that. And I kind of knew the answer was, well, it can do that, and it can do that. At the moment, we just haven't put it in place or got the package in place that allows you to have all that access. So it's taken it from me having all the access to the boys having all the access. I mean, the way it was I had all the access, and they were getting to see small bits and bobs on a Monday night. And they were really hungry to see more of their own individual performances. So by upgrading and going the way we are, I mean, there's lads there that I think you'll see will be bouncing off it all day on a Sunday trying to look at different things. So I think it was necessary to give them that kind of access when they wanted it. We had the rarest of rare mistakes from our goalkeeper in relation to one of the goals, and by Saturday lunchtime he was ringing me saying, look, is that up yet? I need to look back at that and see why I managed to get that wrong. So it is very much a case of we don't even have to drive it, they're driving it themselves. The simplicity is a very big part of the Performa Sports app. I mean, we've used it, as I say, we're into our second season now, and we probably at the start it was taken maybe twice the length that it's taken now. You get a feel for it, and then after 2 or 3 times using it, it's bang, and you're absolutely flying through it. So because again, it's all well and good to have all that information, but how many man hours is it taking to gather that information? If the man hours that it's taken to gather that information is through the roof, well then you have to see is the value in it. Whereas because of the layout of the Performa Sports app, and because it's so simplistic really that, well, I can use it so a dummy can use it, it means that you can do things very quickly and get together the information very quickly. I would definitely recommend Performa Sports. As I say, at the moment it's ticking all the boxes that we needed. We needed something that players could relate to, that was simplistic to use, that players had access to, that allowed a format that allowed them to dip in and out of it. I mean, what you'll see again with players is some players will go in and they'll have a look at it on Saturday, then they'll come back in on Tuesday and that kind of thing. And also it helps very, very much in relation to the opposition. So this is round 1 for us, but when we come back, particularly in our division, you're playing everybody 4 times. When you come back to round 2, we can go back in, we can see, right, let's remind ourselves of what happened in round 1, what went well for us, what didn't go well for us. So on top of the individual performance improvement, it's definitely going to give team performance improvement as well. So from that point of view, I couldn't recommend it highly enough.